Look at that, and a early arriving crowd. They were in their seats ready. Is this guy that influential? My goodness, we heard about Pelé when he was here. We did a Barcelona game. Everyone's talking about Ronaldinho, but has anything been quite like this? 2 days where he has just conquered New York.
And this is one of the best stadiums. When you have it full, it's incredible. I remember in 1996 when the MLS All-Stars took on the world players. You had Michael Laudrup, David Ginolan. It was full as well. Just spectacular.
Ty Harden didn't get all of that, and Joe Cannon, a long look at his young defender. He says, we got to start getting victories. Obviously, LA need 9 or 10 wins in their final 15 to realistically make the playoffs. They can't be making plays like that. Here's Beckham. I think it's important, Christopher, and we'll keep an eye on him, how many touches he gets, how quickly he can get into the fabric of what LA does. Pavon. Gordon mishit. Kevin Harms commits the foul. I get the feeling Kevin Harms is the kind of guy David Beckham has really taken to as a teammate, saying, this guy, I like, he does the enforcing for me.
Well, actually, both teams have a young player in that same central midfield position. Joe Vide on the other side, and they've tried to limit his touches, bring a little simplicity to his game as well.
Looped over, Angel over the back, and offside. Dante Jazic, who moved into central defenseman Abel Xavier, picked up an injury.
I think this is going to be interesting today. You see Jazic, who's not really good in the air, or he's not bad in the air, but he's normally a wide player. And that's a mismatch that you might find where they get that diagonal ball into that back area looking for Angel.
Long ball by Cannon over the head of Pavon. Slipping in front of Gordon was Hunter Freeman. All right, Christopher, big game for both teams. What does New York have to do in order to get 3 points?
Well, I think what's important, Bruce Arena had said that they started defending better collectively. Great little move here from Donovan. Looking for Beckham, but it's not there. And you know, stay collective, balanced, cohesive in transition from a defensive standpoint. Try to utilize the wide play and take that attacking initiative, being positive, going to goal, especially on set plays.
We saw Beckham in a wide right position. That's where we're used to seeing him in his Manchester United days in particular, as well as England. Play a more central role with LA. Tapped over, out the door, chases. Jacic's waiting for the bounce. They've all talked about the field turf. It could be a haunted house, really, with the bounces. All right, LA desperately needs victories. What do they have to do to make sure they come out of here with win number 4?
Well, even though they played really well the other day, I think that their pressure could be a little bit higher. They need variation in attack, the speed of play in transition. What we talked about with Harms, releasing the ball quickly. You see they're trying to do that with Beckham. And then obviously the set plays, the corners. Try to be decisive when they get forward.
Hunter Freeman. Angel. Tapping the side, trying to get that ball wide to Dane Richards. Again, Angel getting goal number 10 against Toronto. He had to wait a bit. Mike Randolph, only his 2nd start for LA. Great start overall for the Red Bulls. Rugby tackle from Ty Harden on Josie Altidore. And they're relieved just to see yellow.
Well, you see the players around the referee. They're trying to tell him if he's the last man, that's a red card. They want the advantage right away. One of the things that we're seeing, the first touch in the back, the vulnerability. You see Altidore, when he tries to move, he's getting his shirt grabbed. That's definitely a yellow, and he's the last man.
It's I think, very fortunate for Ty Harden, who had that bad back pass. Maybe the lights of New York City are getting to him. He needs to get in the game. He's been great for them all season. This is his 16th start, but he needs to show a little more experience.
You see the wall is definitely 10 yards back. Great approach here. Ooh.
Into the near post and into the goal. 1-0 Red Bulls. Juan Pablo Angel.
Well, when you talk about intelligence and brilliance, this is a great example. He knew the wall was going to jump. And just like Ronaldinho last year, he played it below. Watch, at the last minute, everybody jumps. He plays it low, just fools 3 players. Klein, Pavon, and Martino all jump, turn their back. He goes low. You see the late reaction. Joe Cannon didn't really move his feet. He just stretched out, and that was the difference.
Goals in back-to-back games for Angel after he had not scored since June the 16th. And what an ovation after hearing that, Christopher. Clearly, the fans have come to see Beckham, but they came to cheer the Red Bulls because they are New Yorkers. This is their team. They're up 1-0.
Well, you see the quick combination down the right side. Players are able to find Beckham. New York's dropping off. They get a corner here on a quick 1-2. Klein gives you a lot of versatility up the line. Now you need the response from the Galaxy.
Can't see him, but it's Beckham in that corner, tapped out by Vide. And with a little bit more space, they go to the other side. Corner kicks very tight at Giant Stadium. No big runoffs. A set-piece specialist. Corners are good, but in front is even more dangerous. Not a bad first offering.
Oh, you got 3 players running into the heart of the area. No one at the back post. It was actually a great ball from Beckham.
Beckham to the near post. He finds Pavone, who's leveled it. 6-minute assist number 1 for Beckham in MLS. Goal number 1 for Carlos Pavone Blumer.
And when you talk about teams needing to respond, normally it happens a couple minutes later. I talked to Frank Yallop today and said Carlito Pavone is going to break out. Look at his abilities, away from the goal completely, stretches up, snaps it at the far post. Late reaction again from Wateros. Look at Beckham, he's not even looking in, he's just focusing on the effect of the curve. Great snap header at the back post, and we got a game.
Ladies and gentlemen, based on what we've just seen, if the ball is stopped for any minute, do not walk away. Do not take your eyes off the television. Set pieces have provided both goals. Beckham intercepts in front of Vide. Vide to Vandenberg. Okay, how about that? Offside, Angel.
You see the disappointment of the crowd, but those two are linking up, and I like that when Vandenberg's coming up the middle of the field, right through the axe. Angel is so good at timing. He just pulled himself into central defenders, and at the last minute he pulled out and separated himself. Central defense has to be careful.
Carlos Pavone, a guy who has had great stints, particularly in Mexico, where he was a historically gifted goal scorer. I mean, he's there in all the record books. And I should say, David Beckham, his left foot stepped on, and he's obviously a little tender right now. Getting back to Pavone, he came over from Real España in Honduras, his last club. This is a great opportunity for him to get back in the big picture at 33 years of age. Maybe his last chance for glory.
Well, he played so well in the Gold Cup. I mean, when he first came into the Galaxy, you expect him to score the goals that he was missing the opportunities. Now you have a great location here with Beckham, about 35 meters out, but a big space between the goalkeeper and the players. I think he's going to cross here.
It's like the Yankees and Dodgers people. Pavone again! Unbelievable! Ladies and gentlemen, David Beckham, assist number 2. Carlos Pavone, goal number 2.
And you see Beckham, he's running over to Pavone because those two linked up, and you got to give credit to Frank Yallop for setting this up and orchestrating. Look at Pavone, how far he is at the far post. Very similar to the goal that they scored against Brazil with England. Beckham set up John Terry, but even further out. Great finish from Pavone. Excellent service from Beckham.
Well, the fans have got their money's worth in about 8 minutes. All goals off set pieces. Carlos Pavone, his second. And this is a guy, Christopher, that came into the match a lot of criticism. And I mentioned Pando Ramirez for the Galaxy because here was a much ballyhooed guy from Guatemala who arrived, did score the goal in the MLS Cup, but was released shortly thereafter. He needs to produce in the regular season, and he did it.
Well, this is the first time we're seeing that little geometric transition. The last pass is not there, but you see the Galaxy, that from the midfield standpoint, this is a foul here. You see Vandenberg came out to Beckham.
Vandenberg, tripped by Beckham. Beckham gets in his face. Joe Vide gets in Beckham's face. Push me, shove you.
I think you're going to see a little bit of this. He came in at the last minute. He puts his foot down. The frustration of Beckham.
Very bad foul by Vandenberg.
And look at the tackle that Beckham did on Jaime Moreno as well. That's what really starts all this, and now he's talking to the referee.
It feels like an MLS Cup, the crowd, the emotion.
We got Paul Bravo, he's talking to the fourth official as well. You know, both these teams know that it's important the first 5-10 minutes. The positive for the Galaxy in the midfield, they look pretty good. They're on good pace. The negative is in the central defense, they look a little shaky.
Looped out of there by Yazic. Stamler in front of Pavon. Harden to Klein, out by Mathis. It's going to be a throw-in for LA. Well, we knew when David Beckham arrived in Major League Soccer, he's not going to score 20 goals here, but we see what he can do. He can get his teammates goals. Both of the balls he provided, especially that second one, just something that very few people on this planet can do. Richards, nice turn, separates Yazic into the 18, too tall for Altidore.
And Altidore put himself in a perfect position right there. That's a player they have to keep going to. Dane Richards could really open things up, and he blew right by Yazic, who's one of the faster defenders for the Galaxy.
Our referee, by the way, Kevin Stott. And here in the 11th minute, let us send it down to Mark Rogandino.
Yeah, guys, as you can see, a couple of feisty tackles here in the early going. In fact, Beckham was very, very upset at that last tackle by Vandenberg. He's got a heavy wrap on that left ankle that he's been nursing over the last couple of months, and you can see he's actually still walking a bit gingerly on it, so we'll have to keep a close eye on it. And as I get an update, I'll get back to you guys. Max?
Thank you, Mark Rogandino.
You know, there's a fine line between lifting your team and making an impact and being aggressive. You see it with players in other sports like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Zidane with France, and Beckham the other day as well. That tackle that he made, man, in the 20th minute with DC really sent the message. I was talking to Frank Gallup about it today, and let the players know this is what you need in the midfield. Not to necessarily be dirty, but to be able to have that bite, that grit, and play on both sides of the ball. And I think that sends a message through the whole team. Right now, he's given indications in the middle of the field and how they want to position as a team collectively on defense.
It's fine line, as you say, Christopher, between dirty and effective there. And, you know, everyone needs that guy. And sometimes you've got to be a little nasty. A guy like Vinnie Jones in his playing days, who's now obviously hit Hollywood. You've got to upset people. You've got to ruffle some feathers, rattle some cages. Well, vibrant opening here. 2-1 Galaxy. Red Bulls were in front. Free kick from Juan Pablo Angel, but what a response, the combination of Beckham and Pavon. Gordon.
Great little turnout move right there from Gordon. I like that Martino's positioning himself a little bit deeper in the central and giving a closer outlet to Beckham. There's an overlap opportunity.
Donovan and Klein. Donovan cuts in, off his left foot, still going. Strikes it far post.
Well, you see the movement and the variation in attack. This is much better. It started from the left side. They move and relay the ball over to the right. Donovan gets that great movement of Klein, comes around him, and look, like when they played Mexico and he scored that one goal, makes that lateral movement and trying to get it on his left foot. Not bad.
This is Yazic. Mike Randolph, who is showing he has a lot of skills, becomes maybe the new left back of choice. Onside from Martino. Shut down by Freeman, at least for now. Martino spins out, finds Pavon in the 18. His cross, Stamler. Harms back to the ground. Gordon!
And you see that Waterroos was able to read his positioning there, but those back four really dipped into their own box. Vide had to come back, as well as Mathis. One of the things that Bruce Arena was talking about is the way that they defend collectively. In the last match, they did it quite well against Toronto. Let's see if they can do that tonight.
It's been a rocky start for all the LA Galaxy scorers. You look at the offensive categories. Donovan's up there in assists, but no Galaxy member in the top 10 goal scorers. And this is great that they can get Pavon on track, as this was the guy they earmarked to score the goals. Meanwhile, it looks like Ante Yazic is the man in some pain there.
You see Donovan having a little conversation as well with Harden. It looked like he was pulling his thumb back, saying, hey, if you get in a situation where you're stuck, just play it out. Open up the ball. Here's the replay right here. You see, it looks like he took a little misstep into the foot of Angel.
And
This is a player, sorry, Max, that you do not want to lose.
Nope. Not many defenders right now. The only really defender they can use is Kyle Veras. Xavier already out, and remember, Ante Yazic normally a right back. Or pardon me, left back.
And he's really the personality on that back line. I mean, Chris Klein is really a midfielder. And, you know, they have that versatility where he can play. That's, you know, the best of both worlds. But Yazic is one that really gives you that backbone in the back line.
Frank Yallop. We were with Chris Klein, a guy that brought in and gave up a lot of good young players. Nate Sturgis, and of course Robbie Findlay, who's exploded at Real Salt Lake. He's still waiting to get into the rhythm of this team. Maybe we're seeing those steps because the galvanizing effect that Beckham is hoping to provide, and so far has. So a little lull in the action for everyone to catch their breath. And Gavin Clinton is up on the sideline, so there's going to be a substitution.
You see the assistant trainer right there, Trevor, talking to Beckham. He was speaking to him as well in the beginning of the game. There's the misstep.
And that is it for Yazic. He is done. And either Frank Yallop goes to a back three, or maybe a guy like Harms comes down as a center back.
It looked like a twisted ankle. You know, you hope that it's not a knee injury, any kind of pull with a knee, and sometimes that happens on synthetic turf.
And really, it's not the image you wanted to see after the beginning we had, where it was very festive and the crowd was full bore. Gavin Clinton, the man from Grand Turks and Caicos. He's quite Americanized, but it's nice to have a Turks and Caicos international here in Major League Soccer to go with our Grenadan, Shalwi Joseph, our Bermudan, Cano Smith, and of course our St. Kitts and Nevis. That is way off, I believe. And Atiba Harris. We got the Caribbean covered. Harms. Pardon me, that was Donovan. Harms has gone to the back line, so it will remain a back four. That's
all right. One positive is that he's going to be able to release the ball and exit out of the back with intelligence and look for the feet and still have that connection with Beckham. But he's got his hands full with Juan Pablo and Ken.
Well, what does this do? Because in the midfield, a lot more space for Beckham because he doesn't have that ball winner with Harms alongside him. So he's going to have to win some ball for himself.
Yeah, I think you're going to see just a little bit more support. It looks like Donovan has dipped back a little bit and dropped in closer to Beckham. Nice movement here from Altidore. Can't hold on to it.
If that's the case, that's something I've never seen. It looks like Landon Donovan is a number 5 right now in a withdrawn position.
Well, what they've done is Clinton's gone wide. Donovan's come into like an attacking midfielder. So one will be more functional. The other one will be a little bit more creative and sit in that hole behind the two forwards. Kyle Martino will pinch in a little bit and get closer to Donovan. So you always have that quick triangle and transition that Frank Yallop's teams always like to play.
This is a makeshift back line. Chris Klein has never really played right back in Major League Soccer. Kevin Harms is a midfielder. Mike Randolph was playing in Yavapai College not too long ago for the Portland Timbers. Offside on Hangel. Here are the defenders. The Galaxy are now without Troy Roberts, Chris Albright, Abel Xavier, Ante Yazic. That was supposed to be their starting four to begin the season. And offside will give a free kick here for Joe Cannon. I got to tell you, maybe let Beckham hit that one from that distance the way he's hit him so far. Airborne from Pavon. And it's right back to Waterroos, who has shared time in goal with John Conway. Waterroos has had some health issues, including hypothermia in one game where he was replaced. This is Richards. Randolph.
That's good work. Nice little turn from Randolph. And Kyle Martino tracks back and makes that little outlet availability for Randolph to connect.
Angel, chased by Klein. This is the last match of a 5-game homestand for New York. They did win that last one against Toronto. They've been back and forth with wins and losses. Freeman, Harms. Oh, right in front for Mathis, who was onside. Cannon
thumps one for Gordon. Gets in front of Jeff Park. Help from Pavone.
It is what we saw the other night when DC was playing in the Superliga match, that Pavone started kind of finding, here's a foul right here, he gets clipped down from Mathis. He was finding those points, being able to hold on, maintain possession, and it turns out very quickly he's looking for the support of Donovan and Beckham. Here he just surges right into the corner, gets clipped. Puts Beckham in a similar, about 10 yards back from the last free kick that he took where they scored.
And pretty much the same spot, just a few yards back, as you said, Christopher. Everyone to their feet. Beckham to the near post. Far post. Save Waterroos. Denying Gordon. Randolph out of play.
Well, this is a big opportunity right here. Again, you see it's difficult to deal with the trajectory of the ball. It's coming right into the heart of the area. It gets flicked on in the back post and just sitting right there. Look, it was much harder than it looked, but he tried to get over the ball and just redirect it at the back post.
Vandenberg. Vide. The native of Fort Worth, Texas. It's Angel Richards, the Jamaican. Nice defensive header from Harden. Hunter Freeman. Harms. Vandenberg. Angel was in an offside position, did not address that ball. Altidore.
We're really seeing Max a box-to-box type of match here at the beginning in the first 20 minutes without rhythmic possession from either team, where they're just trying to control the tempo, just back and forth. All positive play, trying to get into attack. At some point, someone has to bring the pause into the game.
Space for Mathis. He turns to the near post. Mathis filling in for Claudio Reyna. Mathis with 5 goals this season. We do, by the way, have the 2 players that lead the league in red cards on display. Mathis and Kyle Martino both have 2. Randolph. Ty Harden. Last year was playing for the University of Washington. Jeff Park. Now Freeman. Waterroos, we mentioned the hypothermia. He actually has been replaced twice by Conway in matches, which is peculiar. You usually see the goalkeeper go 90 minutes. But this has been a peculiar team, the Red Bulls. Before that, the Metro Stars. Still have yet to make an MLS Cup. Hoping 2007's this year. Once again, let's send it down to Mark Rogandino.
Yeah, guys, had a chance to check on Ante Jazic, and they're calling it a severe right ankle sprain right now. When he came off, as you see, stretchered off, and he really could not put any pressure on it at all. Max, you mentioned Kevin Harms moves into the central part of the defense, and in fact, Kyle Veras, who is coming back from an injury, he's 100% finally from a groin sprain. So defenders are at a minimum right now for Frank Yallop and the LA Galaxy.
They're at Code Red with another injury to a defender, Gavin Clinton. I think maybe a slight surprise that he comes into the match, really an attacker through and through. We'll see how it works out for LA. So far defensively, they've held up. Angel. Vandenberg loops around him. He's got Altidore in the area. Joe Vide slips in. It goes to Richards. Back to Richards, slows down, crosses, can't quite sneak it in.
They just can't get the final concentration there, but you see nice little turnout movement from Angel, cuts across laterally, good connection there. They play. That's what Altidore does so well. Look at him use his body right here, and he slots it in between 3 players. Just that last little final concentration is not there on the precision. I like Max with Donovan behind the 2 forwards in that position. I prefer him a little bit deeper, closer to Beckham in the center of the field. Give him carte blanche, let him get out to the right, let him get out to the left. And you're gonna get that ability of Harms when he gets the ball on his feet. There's gonna be moments in the game where he's gonna be able to see things without the pressure that he has in the midfield. So it could be good for Galaxy.
This is fun to watch. I like him in that position too, but how rarely do we see him there, whether for the Galaxy or whether for the U.S. national team? Maybe because it's the lack of forwards with LA. Certainly with the U.S. national team, we always see him at the top. But here's a chance, obviously by need, where he has to play that position. And this is a chance for everyone who agrees with us to see if he can get it done there.
Here's just a great combination right here in transition. Donovan, ooh, they call him offsides, and the referee, it's when the ball is played. Not a bad ball from Glint, but you see 4 quick passes, pop, pop, connecting with a little quick triangle. He drops it back to Beckham. Beckham plays first time into the feet of Pavon. Good football.
Freeman, Altidore underneath him. You can see Ty Harden is settled in and is now focused into the match. Gordon in front of Joe Vine, who's been a very nice surprise this season. We talked to Bruce Arena earlier in the week about Vine, and he was almost looked at the guy like a lifesaver because of the injuries and the lack of bodies in those positions that he can play. This is onside. Altidore backs away. Vandenberg, Angel.
Well, you see on this last sequence, Galaxy defenders, particularly Klein, just gives way too much room. First to Angel and then to Jose Altidore to get into the area. You see he chest trapped it. Quick release right there from Mathis with a good vision. Altidore let the ball go by. I think he should have went himself.
From the throw-in, Angel try to squeeze it into the far post. Goal number 11 earlier for the Colombian. Luciano Emilio still tops with 13. Eddie Johnson second with 12. Angel in third.
You see Angel is getting a lot of looks. This is what he does well. He's got that touch, contact with the other player, takes it down. Quick little half sombrero. He's looking for the far post. You see Joe Cannon talking to his defender there and say, you need to get on him. Don't allow him to turn the ball like that.
Knows obviously with the injury to Ante Yazic that it may get busy in front of him. It's nothing new. He's had to make several saves, not always to bail out the Galaxy, but maybe just to keep the score down. They have been, under the gauntlet of several teams, especially on this most recent East Coast trip. Remember, they were at DC, lost at New England, lost before that at Toronto. So they wrap up that East Coast trip today.
I think this is a good move. Unfortunate for the Galaxy that Jazzy comes out, but you get the energy on that right side, both sides of the ball, the work rate of Clinton, who's coming in. I think that pitches in, makes it more difficult for Vandenberg.
Is that wide to Freeman? Freeman, many Red Bulls with Virginia ties, including this man, Joe Vine.
You see, the idea was good to release it. Again, the Galaxy back four really drop off, and they're letting players like Angel and Mathis to operate right in front of those back four.
Free kick for LA. David Beckham getting acquainted with several players that he's going to be going up against. So we get a quick look at Bruce Arena. Shape this team into, you could call them a contender. However, if things go haywire, if they hit a bad patch season-wise, they could find themselves out of the top 8. They currently reside 6 points ahead of Colorado, who's the 9th place team, the first team out of the playoffs. What a great crowd, and again, what a great opportunity for MLS to kickstart soccer here in New York. It's no secret this is not the most supported team. There's been a lot of excuses. Obviously, the location of Giant Stadium. A lot of fans on a regular basis don't want to make it here. Well, they have their new stadium coming. Obviously, the change of name for Metro Stars and Red Bulls initially didn't sit well with a lot of fans, but you get the feeling that they are adjusting there also. Over the top onside. Randolph, plenty of pace. Richards.
Another great play initiated by the movement of Randolph getting behind the defense, and you got the vision and the intelligence to pause, and then that great delivery from Beckham just over the top. Look at this, going away from the ball, just slots it perfectly. He's on, picks up a corner kick. These are the moments in the game, Max, when you really need to take control if you're the Galaxy. Your big players have to step up. Take your opportunities on your set plays, be decisive, but in the midfield start controlling the rhythm of this game. Neither of these teams have really done that at this point.
He's already assisted from the corner kick. Beckham hits it well in front. Gordon bravely went after that one. He got his head to it. That's right where you need to put it.
We see that vertical movement right up the heart of the area, and he's looking, makes it difficult for Ronald Waterous, and you see he's a little bit shy in the area. He doesn't have that presence that he normally has. He's already taken 2 goals, first game back in a lot of matches. Big opportunity for the Galaxy.
Vandenberg slips it in, headed away from or certainly by Harms. Now it's Stamler. Stamler knows what Kevin Harms is going through. He started the midfield, is now a center back. Freeman. Mendez obviously the odd man out here, and it's been a different back four, it seems, every week. In fact, it has been for the Red Bulls.
You see Beckham, he's hopping up on his ankle a little bit, you know, not 100% when he moves off, and you see the response when he goes up in the air and he comes back down. It'll be interesting to see what he does at halftime, if he goes another 10-15 minutes, or if he goes the whole match. And you just see on his facial expression. And
let's remember about the surface here, a lot of fans, a lot of players hate playing on this, and obviously coming from Europe where you have the plush grounds, under normal circumstances, Beckham would have probably skipped a match like this.
Yeah, you're spoiled with those type of fields. You see right here, Mathis, I think that he's been active in the midfield. You see by just getting pulled down here from behind. They need that participation from the forwards. Great
well
ball.
Delivered. Cannon had to touch it away. Back in, cleared off the line by Pavone.
They talk about coming up big on both sides of the area. Pavone scores 2 goals, saves a goal right here. Angel takes a knock. Great service, equally from Clint Mathis, to pinpoint Angel, put it on his head. See the half volley right there, and Pavone's right behind Joe Cannon. Great work, good positioning.
Right there from the corner kick into the arms of Cannon, although a little scare as Altidore was underneath it. Joe Cannon knows it's going to be busy. Clears it towards Beckham. It's tangled up with Leach. Right through it comes Klein. Gordon tried to nutmeg Stamler. Altidore, lovely touch. Vandenberg wasn't ready. Harm dislodges it. Harden. Vine and Donovan getting acquainted. Those two have got tangled on more than one occasion. Free kick, LA. Another free kick. Martino for Gordon. Leach, left back, has been a major issue for the Red Bulls. Remember, they started the season.
A good movement off the ball. You see Mathis getting just a hesitation from Dave Vandenberg is what threw this play off, and the frustration on both Mathis and Angel. Angel checked. Look at this. Martino coming right through the middle. Back and forth.
This is Pavone. Donovan. Lifts his head up, try to squeeze it into Pavone, who's playing out wide on the left.
It's really the first time we've seen Galaxy come back. It started with Pavone. They played back around, relayed through Beckham and Donovan, starting to try to settle in and control the pace a little bit and manage this match.
Altidore offside.
I think the movement in the midfield of Mathis has been very good. He's moving from side to side. He's had that visibility, always making himself available. He's had the quick one-touch passage where he's been able to link into the feet of Angel. And Angel is the one, if he continues to play like this, he's going to get a handful of opportunities in this match, particularly in the second half when it opens up a little bit.
Linton for Klein, looking to squeeze it into Beckham. Beckham had those 2 assists, hasn't really done much additionally since then. Randolph. Richards. Freeman. Jeff Park. Jeff Park taps that in, and now it's in the arms of Joe Cannon.
There was a little better pressure right there from the back four of the Galaxy. They were more compact, made it more difficult, forced that vertical pass over the top. Cannon was in a good position coming off his line.
Cannon just a bit too tall for Gordon. Beckham and Mathis there. Harms. Leach. Mentioning the left back, they started with Todd Donovan, then Kevin Goldthwait, and obviously Bruce Arena not happy with that situation, so Leach is brought in.
I think those are that last little action we saw where Harms played it out with the head. Those are the opportunities when you want to control with your chest, try to maintain possession. Look at this.
Oh, Harden's having all sorts of problems with Altidore. Probably could have been a penalty. Beckham, meanwhile, combining with Donovan. Great skill between those two. Klein. Randolph. LA looking to quicken the pace here. Gordon, not a good ball in return. Harden bangs it back into the other half.
You see a lot of people in New York, they said that the non-soccer fan is coming, but half the stadium stood up. They recognize that this was a foul for sure. They know. I think you bring out a lot of fans that watched all the international matches here in New York. It's so cosmopolitan in this city. These fans know the game.
Good run by Freeman, onside Richards. Shut out by Randolph. Freeman. Angel the target. Glinton helps out. Donovan. Good first touch. Explodes by Leach.
We talked about that matchup. You see Donovan, he's going to have his way with him all night. Just pushing on pure speed. He just can't get that pass through.
Pavon. In the final third, the Galaxy looking to go up 3-1. Gordon. All 3 goals scored in the opening 8 minutes. Beckham. Cross on the ground, looking for Pavon, who was looking for a hat trick.
Again, a subtle movement right there. Beckham pulls back as if he wants the ball at his feet. He knows Donovan's quick. He can release it. Then he goes the other direction and gets behind Mathis. They're about the same speed. Beckham's looking. He's just checking out the field. Plays it right in the heart of the area, right to the feet of Pavon. Another wonderful, precise cross.
Out wide, Richards catches up with it. Martino. Oop, not a good play by the rookie Randolph. One of 3 rookies in the back 4 for LA. Here's another, Ty Harden. Martino. Leach now. Clint Mathis. His second stint in New York. Intercepted by Klein. Pavon. Too hot to handle. Glinton. Beckham, what a calming touch he has every time around. Donovan. Into the Red Bulls half. Oh, he's hurdled wide this time. Waiting for Gordon. Now Pavon. Wide open. Carlos Pavon to the near post. Far post. Almost got it in there over the head of Waterroos.
You see Landon looking at Carlos Pavon. He's giving some indication saying, hey, I'm at the near post right here. He had the runs into the area, but again, it all started. Donovan's the catalyst, the pause, the change of rhythm, the tempo that we were talking about, right through the middle. Look at him break. He just gets himself in a good position, but almost surprised Waterroos, who doesn't really have that height to cover the back post.
Isn't really going to start backpedaling either, but Carlos Pavon, it's coming out party tonight. Did his damage in the opening 8 minutes, as did this man, who's looking to combine with him a third time. Look at the backspin on that. Pavon over the head of Gordon. Slipping in is Martino. Glinton waited too long. Donovan, great pace here. Harms.
Again, these are the moments where Harms has to use his maturity and experience and try to keep the ball and maintain the possession and really put New York back on their heels.
Coming up, great international friendly on Wednesday, August the 22nd. It's Brazil and Algeria, 12:30 Eastern Time, live on FSC on a blockbuster day of internationals. For your viewing pleasure, we'll be your one-stop destination. What a day. We'll have Brazil, USA, Sweden, Germany, England, and of course Algeria. Freeman. Angel was on its way in, tapped over by Cannon.
And I think, Max, 8 out of 10 times that would have been a goal. But Joe Cannon puts himself in a great position. Every game he makes a wonderful save and keeps Galaxy in every match. He did it again. Great positioning right there from Angel.
New York doubling LA's output on shots. A corner driven in by Vandenberg, who was out of the lineup for a bit, but that's his spot on the left side of the midfield.
And just as it seemed as if the Galaxy was going to start keeping possession, as we see the corner kick right here. Back post attention. Just can't redirect it at the far post. The positioning of the left midfield right there really didn't come in for that release ball from Donovan. That started the counterattack for New York to come the other way. They're able to connect. Angel has put himself at the top of the area. We talked about getting those opportunities, and they're starting to see him in the counter.
Falls for Angel in front of Harden. Played up by Mathis. Back to Mathis. Cannon. Let's send it down to Brad Feldman.
Guys, they played an NFL game here at Giant Stadium last night. Now, they don't usually do this for soccer, but right after the game, they power washed the field. Then they painted over the football lines all night until 5 a.m. The field looks good. Max, Monday, they reversed the whole process.
Oh, boy. Preseason football upon us, and obviously this complicates things. Not for much longer for the Red Bulls, because they'll have their own place, but they have to coexist not with one, but with two NFL franchises. Linton. Klein has a step on Vandenberg. Pavon. One bounce and out. Throw in for LA. You mentioned earlier about the cosmopolitan city and how the Red Bulls have struggled with success, but you think of other cosmopolitan cities, Washington, D.C. and Toronto, their support is through the roof. You'd like to see them follow suit here in New York.
And I think we did the final of Mexico against the United States in the Gold Cup. Chicago was a wonderful atmosphere as well. And I could just see Beckham in New York playing against Cuauhtemoc Blanco in Chicago. I think that it's only going to get better for MLS.
From here, 7 home games, 7 road games for the Galaxy, which means 7 more destinations where Beckham mania can roll in.
Another corner kick opportunity here.
And it's going to be tough for Beckham. I mean, these fans are right on you. Every player who's had to take a corner kick has had to deal with that.
These are also moments where he gets that second win, you know, because he's not a 90-minute match fit yet. So it gives a good advantage right here to the Galaxy.
The flash bulbs throughout. Another good ball in. Donovan taps it towards goal.
You see he's putting his hand on his head. He saw that was a big opportunity. Not making the most of it.
Well, anytime you have a team where David Beckham plays, you want to get as many corners and free kicks as possible, and LA's doing that.
I think what LA's doing well is really being attentive and making those hard movements at the near post. So they're putting themselves in good position. It's forcing a lot of players from New York to come give attention. It's leaving the back post open.
The ball by Vine. You can see Richards' world-class pace. Mark Randolph has it as well. Wins it from Richards, shoulder to shoulder. Beckham. Pavon. Great ball by the Honduran, gets through to Klein. Linton tries to split the defense. He has Donovan around Waterroos. Can't curl it into goal.
But great football right there. We talked about Clinton. He's come in from a wide position. Donovan makes one of his signature runs, slicing and slashing right behind the defense. He gets grabbed, makes that little toe poke, puts himself in an angle position. We've seen it so many times. Just a foot off, great movement, comes from a deep position, touches around the keeper, just can't get it in.
Did everything right. And you talk about world-class pace. This man has it. Landon Donovan with 4 goals in MLS. Does have 4 additional goals that he's picked up in the Superliga. Angel.
I think when Pavon is on the way that he is right now, you can afford to have Landon get in that position closer to Beckham. And it really changes things, changes the whole dynamic. Good cross.
Vandenberg! Oh, Joe Cannon! Josie Altidore denied. And David Beckham from the midfield, you can see him pointing at Cannon saying, that's top drawer.
And you see the whole staff of New York, they don't agree with this call right here. Bruce Arena, John Hawks, Richie Williams, they're all off the bench. Frustration. What a service right there. Just in swinger with the right foot. Great run, perfect timing. Look at Altidore. He's coming 10 yards out, catches Harden again. one-on-one in front of the goalkeeper. Snap header right at the keeper. Either side, it's a goal. And Cannon holds his ground. Great reaction. But again, Altidore is making the right movement. Great service. You got to put those away.
Yes, you do. But Joe Cannon, he's feeling it right now. You knew, especially when Yazik went down, that he was going to be busy. He's been busy beyond belief this season. Hasn't got nearly enough credit as he probably deserves because LA hasn't been pulling out the results. But if they can pull it out here, win or draw, Cannon will be at the top of your MVP voting. Here's Beckham. Didn't get all of it. Harms. I think his boot got stuck in that turf that time, which is to be excused. You can see on his face he's in a sour mood.
Well, he took a hard look down there at Angel, then he did a double look and realized who he was staring at. Backed off. And I think you see the rhythm in the midfield. Beckham's trying to calm this game down in the midfield. He's trying to pull in Donovan. He's trying to pull in Pavon. He's trying to just bring a little bit of pause before the break so they can come in at halftime and regroup and reestablish that rhythm in the second half.
When we mentioned Beckham and Angel, two guys we've showcased, they did both play at the Premiership at the same time. They actually played here at Giant Stadium on an international match. England beating Colombia 3-2.
Hold on.
Randolph, 2 additional minutes. We're 35 seconds into it. Martino has made it hard for Randolph, but he gets there, crosses it in, taken by Waterus. Ty Harden, with all the different nations represented. There you have Ty Harden from Oklahoma. Right there with the guys from Turks and Caicos and England, Canada, you name it, Honduras.
And you just see that last little sequence. He's not going to get onto this. But Beckham, a little bit of calm, a pause, little reactive pass into the midfield. Donovan comes back, controls the ball, relays to the other side. That's what they need in the midfield. I love to see Donovan close to Beckham in the midfield. His game picks up, and he's able to come from those deep positions. You see the players, the best around the world, that are three-quarter specialists like Kaká, Pablito Aimar, Messi, that can come from deep positions and get behind the forwards or operate and combine to get into those attacking positions.
Another thing that I have taken notice of is the positive reinforcement these Galaxy teammates have been giving each other. Applauding every ball, every attempt, every tackle. And I think that's always been the case. Basically, this is a team that's been looking up at everything. They have been low. Richards on the left. Steps away from Klein. A second time. Vandenberg in the pocket off the face of Beckham. Back to Richards. Right in front, deflected. Mathis, yes! Clint Mathis in stoppage time makes it 2-2 to the delight of all the New Yorkers at Giant Stadium.
A la grande, a la grande, a la grande. It's a player who loves the big atmosphere. Mathis always comes up in the big match. And you see, you got to give credit to the coaching staff of New York to change. Dane Richards comes on the left side. They try to take advantage of Klein. Look at Beckham. He gets a deflection, doesn't stay with the runner. Puts himself on a cutback. Deflection. Mathis is right there. Look how many players are away from him. Snap volley right in the far post. Great cut like a razor. Here's the release. Ball comes back, full volley. Wonderful strike.
Unbelievable. Off the volley, Clint Mathis with goal number 6 of the season. And we said there was 2 minutes of stoppage time. He hit that at 2 minutes and 4 seconds. What a finish to this first half. 2-2. What an atmosphere.
And you see that Galaxy, the last 10-15 minutes, we're starting to control and manage a little bit in the midfield. One little slip, you let a team back in. You got to come in at halftime and not give those opportunities away.
Big game here at Giant Stadium. It is 2-2 at the half. Very important for New York, looking to keep pace with the top teams in the East and keep playoff hopes alive. And the Galaxy, with a long road to go, need a lot of points and quickly to get back into the playoffs. Place where they're used to being. Quickly out of the get-go, Beckham combining with Glinton for Pavon. Pavon dragged down in the area. Kevin Stott had a good look at it. And just like the first half, we fly out of the traps in half number 2.
And you can see Beckham right there. He was asking for the penalty to the referee. And you see Pavon and Beckham are getting on the same page. They're starting to combine much better. Nice little feint. And there he gets pulled down again with the shirt.
And ladies and gentlemen, the Galaxy have just picked up a free kick in an area you'd have to consider Beckham country. A long talk from Angel with Kevin Stott. Both teams have something to argue about. Very friendly atmosphere now after a feisty beginning. We mentioned about Pavon struggling, but he's one of those guys that you figured once Beckham arrived could improve, and he has, and he almost had a third to prove it.
This is a great location right here from Beckham, much closer. This one he can actually put on goal, plus he's got the opportunity at the back post in between the space of the keeper and the back line. But I agree with you, Max. I think that he's starting to find his rhythm. He's starting to connect. He's starting to get that sense of how the team likes to play collectively.
David Beckham, the way he passes that ball, can make millions of dollars for a teammate, and Pavon's looking to cash in. Keep an eye on him here. Number 20, just outside the 18. Maybe Beckham wants it all to himself. He is certainly granted a go. He does go into the wall.
You see he was trying to go around the outside looking for that near post. Not a bad idea. And you see the marking, the attention of Juan Pablo Angel, another great player in the air, trying to stay with Pavon.
By the way, in the first 45 minutes, the one yellow card went to Ty Harden as Richards flies in. Wow. There was one substitution. Gavin Glinton came in for an injured Ante Yazic.
There you see now Bruce Arena with his hands on his head. He can't believe this call. Just surging through the middle. Speed again kills. He gets around Harden. He falls down. That's not a foul on Richards, unless he calls a handball. Nope.
There have been 3 very good protests for penalty kicks, 2 in the last 2 minutes. Vandenberg to Clint Mathis, who ended the first half with a bang. Angel. Slow ball for Hunter Freeman, the 22-year-old, ex of the Rapids.
Gotta like Mathis coming back in a deeper position, looking for the ball, finding, connected to Angel, relays very quickly, and just didn't clean it up there. Freeman has to get the ball and release it right to the feet of Richards.
Pavon, legs up by Freeman. Kevin Stott wants a word. And he's gonna get lucky, I think. Yeah, that's a yellow card, but he didn't get one.
Definitely.
Well, it's a pedantic whistle right now from Kevin Stott. He's trying to gain control. Joe Vide steps in front of Donovan quickly. The Red Bulls into a counter. Onside, Altidore, yes! The kid's done it again! 2 unanswered goals from the Galaxy, answered by 2 unanswered from the Red Bulls. 3-2 New York.
And strangely enough, it happens on a set standard situation. Free kick, look at the open middle. Mathis has the opportunity to orchestrate, pinpoint pass to Altidore, gets right through the central defense. This is what he does well, open field movements, puts himself in a great position, last minute slot with the inside of the foot at the far post, well taken.
The kid with Haitian lineage at 17 has just picked up goal number 6. Quickly, the Galaxy look for a response. Randolph to Martino. Beckham. Donovan. Martino. Flick back for Donovan, but there's Joe Vide, who's had a super match thus far. Angel, Mathis.
Well, we talked about in the first half, Max, how this game will probably open up. Look at the speed right here, Richards.
Oh, Richards flying.
And just the last concentration. His crossing hasn't been there tonight.
This is wide open soccer, back and forth. Martino shut down for a little bit late in the first half, but it's opened up again to open half number 2. 5 goals just 50 minutes in. Well, Christopher, I was going to ask you what these teams needed to do. Obviously, the Red Bulls didn't need your advice. They went ahead and took care of it themselves. But what did the Galaxy have to do to refocus here and get back in it?
Well, I think they needed to be intelligent in possession, start working the ball from side to side and opening up those holes. to allow, when the opportunity presents itself for Donovan to make the little runs that he does and just be patient. But their inexperience of leaving the midfield openings allow the counterattack for New York. It's the last thing you want to let happen.
Wide open, onside again. Angel and Cannon.
Again, you see the back four. Look, they're in the 6-yard box, just in front of Joe Cannon. They need to be pushed out, including Klein. And now you see this surge right here. Great response. This is the way you want to come out if you're New York.
The back line of LA in disarray. They've left Cannon hung out to dry already twice. Early on the second half, Vandenberg. Cannon busy again. Beckham intercepted. Mathis, open goal!
Good idea. He saw the light right there. Cannon got across, did well to get onto that. But this is a great surge right here from New York. And it started out well. The first couple of minutes, I thought the Galaxy was connecting. They were doing everything right. They pick up the free kick. Donovan got very high, and it opened up the midfield. And that's where they left it out. Beckham looking for a flick. Good anticipation. Intervenes from Mathis, puts a shot on goal.
Randolph will see it through it. Joe Cannon, I don't know if he can yell at his defenders anymore. Tough start in the second half as the Beckham-Mathis dialogue continues. And now Beckham has stopped the dialogue, but Mathis continues. Off the hand, it seemed, of Stamler. It is a handball.
Well, there's a great location right here from Beckham. About 18, 28, 30 yards out. I like the way that Mathis is playing. I mean, he steps up in the big matches. He looks for the ball. He makes himself available. He's had some great first-time touches. Fantastic release pass over there to the left of Altidore. But look at Beckham. He's got his eyes set on the goal from this distance.
Richards being a nuisance in the meantime. Kevin Harms asked the referee to get rid of him. And he starts to move. Now all eyes on Beckham. Captaining this side in his first MLS start. Hits the wall a second time. Harms puts a stop to that. Angel deflects it off of Beckham. Harms took down Richards, and he might be in trouble for that tackle. Play on, Altidore. Freeman. Too tall for Vandenberg, who became the center forward for a moment. Leach. Vine sets it up with his first touch, well wide. Wide from Vine. Fourth start for the Virginia product.
You see, look at the support. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players into the area where they're recovering. So Bruce Arena has his team pushing up when they make those attacks into the wide position, so they have the support to win that second ball when it's dropped down.
So John Hark's coming to the picture there. He was just doing the dirty work with the fourth official for Bruce Arena. The Red Bulls knew this was an opportunity to showcase this team to their community. Beat mighty David Beckham, even though the Galaxy are struggling. The eyes were on them. They're answering it thus far.
This is a good touch here. Much better midfield presence in the second half from New York. They're starting to control a little bit the flow. They're getting better positioning when they're transitioning out. And this is when the Galaxy really has to step up and start getting control.
55th minute, Josie Altidore with the goal in the second half to put New York in front. Gordon. Mathis has to take it himself. Both players in front of him offside. He splits the central defenders, drags down Randolph, and that draws the whistle.
You see he picked up the foul there, but he made a good decision. Angel was about 2 meters offsides, as was Altidore, so he just tries to make the individual slalom.
Remember, Mathis is still only 30 years of age. A lot of distractions in his career following the breakout in the 2002 World Cup.
Well, you always want Claudio Reyna on the field. I mean, he's one who controls the rhythm and the tempo. But the difference, Clint Mathis always has his eye on the goal. Even if he's 50 yards out, he's always thinking, how's he going to get forward? How is he going to make some type of an attack? And that's what this team is really missing, particularly when you got two great forwards like Angel and Altidore.
Yes, the J Express Only the second time Angel and Altidore have partnered up top together. Altidore to Angel. Richards, who apparently is drinking what he bottled up earlier in the season, where he was unstoppable, because he is working it up that right side with ease. Tapped out by Harden, who accompanied Beckham to Harlem this week. Wide open, Donovan gets the touch in, taps it wide for Gordon, who pushed it.
Great football, very similar ball from Beckham to Donovan that we saw in DC when they played about 50 meters. No look pass to the left side, just utilizing the speed of Donovan. Look, he's 10 yards back, gets into the area, breaks, and now he's smart right here. Cuts himself, just flicks it, can't get the pace on the ball. Gordon comes around, Waterers makes it difficult for him.
I tell you, Donovan gave Gordon a long look after that. Waterers was bearing down hard, but you'd like to see them at least put that on goal. A long look from Donovan. It could have been 3-3. This LA team obviously fatigued by the strange season they've had. They had 13 games from April 8th to the start of July. 12 games since the start of July. 5 in league, 5 Superliga, 2 World Series of Football, 1 US Open.
It is much better from LA. They're starting to come to life. They're starting to build their appetite. You see that great ball from Beckham, deep midfield position. Now they're starting to pull Donovan into the game. Great switch here.
Angel saw Richards too tall.
And the fault is Richards. He's got to take a wider position. He's too narrow right there. He's got to. It's always easy to come in. It's difficult to come out after the ball's been played over you.
Pavon. Martino. Gordon. Tackled by Vi, but eventually Gordon wins it back. Beckham, center of the pitch. Glinton. He's got a seam to get it to Gordon. Tapped out. Corner kick. Certainly good news when you have David Beckham.
Well, I think that 2-2 at halftime, coming out in the second half, you thought that this was going to be Landon Donovan really opening up this game. But then you have the response from New York after that free kick. See if they get him into this match. He's one you never count out.
Well, you could just hear a lot of people paid good money to boo Beckham here tonight. Tapped out by Angel. Altidore muscling up with Harms, 2 very physical players. Martino. Klein. Beckham turns over Gordon's head straight to a flat-footed Waterers.
Well, yeah, Gordon go at the near post. He was looking for Pavon.
Klein. Beckham.
Good
Gordon
idea.
curls around. Sure, Allen's still thinking of that equalizing attempt that went wide. Substitution here. Kyle Veras will be coming in. This is the second for the Galaxy, and coming out is going to be Alan Gordon. So this is going to rejig the lineup again for LA. And it's safe to say, since Ante Yazik went down, New York has outscored LA 2-0, so maybe the experiment of playing Harms in the midfield didn't work, and now you see Harms come back.
Correct.
That's obviously quite a stroke from Frank Yallop, assuming, or at least admitting, that that did not work. And he'll go back to the way it was, obviously putting more responsibility into the lap of Kyle Veras. We have reached the hour mark, 3-2 Red Bulls. Richards, Veras gets the tackle in, not quite. Altidore. Vandenberg. The Dutchman hits it straight to Cannon.
And Josie did well to cut back right there. I thought he was going to shoot. He had a good look at the goal. He lays it off. He gets around him. Here's the cutback. He's in the area, right? Look at Cannon, his position. Much easier from Vandenberg right there.
Well, earlier in the first half, we talked about how much you like to see Landon Donovan in that deep central role, as do I, but it still doesn't seem to work. He's moved back up as a forward alongside Pavon.
But a lot of interchange, and you see Pavon coming back, Donovan coming back. They're switching. And Beckham's starting to get a hold of the ball in that central position. And just every time he's putting it behind the defenders and looking for that splitting run of Donovan.
Harms. Knocked out by Stamler. Mathis.
Look, very few number 9s have that mobility and technique. The one Pablo Angel in the middle of the field. So many years that he played at River with the fantastic 4. Pablito Aymar, Saviola, Angel.
Going back to New York, it's Vide. Angel digs in, Mathis. Still just 1 goal in it. Beckham. Donovan gets there first. Had to really hustle for that, only to lose it to Richards. Gets by Donovan, goes after Randolph. Not quite around him. Mike Randolph, who was a finalist for Rookie of the Year at USL last season with the Portland Timbers.
Much better second half.
Well, Mathis has been tremendous, as has this man. Mike Randolph shuts him down there. Donovan facing goal. Looking for Pavon, who holds up his run, or I should say pulled up his run, and probably shouldn't have. Claudio Reyna, obviously the guy unable to play, but they've done very well with Clint Mathis, not only scoring a goal, but winning a lot of ball in the midfield for the Red Bulls. Waterus. Altidore in front of Harden. Vandenberg and Glinton collide. Falls for Altidore. Fine. Richards could not save it. Throw in for the Galaxy. As we mentioned earlier, this was the 5th match in a homestand for the Red Bulls. They won 2 and lost 2. Obviously, you want to be over 500 at home. A victory here will allow that. Throw in New York. The Revolution losing on Thursday, opening the door for the Red Bulls to close the gap in a tightly contested Eastern Conference with Kansas City and really Columbus still in the running.
Hold on from Beckham there in the midfield to break that up.
Harms couldn't quite get enough of it. Headed out by Leach. Klein. Here is Harms, the Canadian, well-traveled, born in Johannesburg, South Africa. Glinton back to Harms, who's back in the midfield. Randolph. Pavon. Back to Beckham. And these two combining a fair deal. Pavon digs in for the cross. Too long for Donovan. Glinton was there, held up by Leach, who gets a tap on the back from Waterus for that effort.
Well, they had all the right movements in the area. Good cross, nice little combination on the left side from Beckham and Pavon. I think they need more out of Martino. He's got to get more contacts on the ball. He's got to make something a little better penetrations. Look at this movement.
Vandenberg off the right foot, which has caused a lot of problems for LA.
I mean, when you look in the second half, the supporting players around Mathis and Angel, Altidore has picked it up. Richards has picked it up. Vandenberg's got into the attack. Wide is winning balls. Joe Vide in the midfield, releasing the ball more quickly. That's really been the difference here in the momentum. You got Donovan and Beckham. They picked up the game in the second half as well, but the supporting players around have to come to life.
There's some guys who have a proven track record in MLS. You mentioned a couple of them just there, Martino, Klein, that you're absolutely right, have not really made it a cohesive team effort. Beckham. Offensively and statistically, I should say, it's a dominant effort from the Red Bulls. Joe Cannon has kept it just a goal difference. Again, it could all be for naught. Mathis. Freeman. Long ball intercepted by Veras. Harms looking to quicken things up. That one over the top. Pavon with the inside track, but he now goes to the outside lane. Freeman had youth on his side. He still couldn't hold up the crafty Honduran.
You see Freeman's asking for a call because Pavon came over with his body, just grabbed away to separate himself. Look at Beckham, looking for a little no-look surprise. Puts Pavon, and these guys have been on the same page. Another corner kick opportunity. These are the opportunities you really have to make the most of.
And half of the stadium converges on that corner to get a look of Beckham. That one well cleared by, let's see, Stamler. Martino is looking for Klein. Tapped away Randolph.
I like Randolph. I think he's been good. He's dealt with the speed of Richards in the first half. That's what forced New York to put him over to the left side. He's gone foot to foot with him. He's been good in his distribution as well. And now that they have Veras, who's just come in, he's won a few balls in the central defense. That's what they need to recover the ball, release it quickly into the feet of Beckham and Donovan. It's better for Martino.
Martino out to Pavon, really couldn't play it into him. Plenty of width now. No one there to receive that cross. Game number 20 for New York, game number 16 for LA. Everyone has mentioned how the Galaxy have a lot of matches to close that gap, and they've had all these games to make up, but they still have to win those matches. 3-2 New York. While we have a moment, let's send it down to Brad Feldman.
Guys, the Red Bulls have announced an attendance of 66,237 tonight. That's an MLS game standalone record in the history of MLS soccer here in the New York area. The Metro Stars had 53,250 versus LA back on June 9th, 96, but that was a 4-0 loss. The home fans not happy right now, but I'd say they're having a better time than they did back in 96 here.
Indeed. Let's hope this is not just a passing thing. Let's hope that this kind of environment, which has certainly done its part in drawing in fans, can do just that for a, let's not mince any words or beat around the bush, a franchise that's really struggled to bring in attendance, especially in 07, at the low end of that spectrum. Meanwhile, a yellow card to Clint Mathis for a tackle on David Beckham. Martino, Clinton, Martino.
Much better from Martino from the central position. Look at Donovan.
He needs a target, though. Goes back underneath to Martino! Side netting.
And this is what you need from him. He gets into the midfield, quick combination, right in the axe of the field, releases Donovan out wide, makes that little withdrawn follow-up run right there, and just gets clipped at the end. Good recovery effort on the slide tackle. You see Joe Wright complicates it for him to get a good look on goal.
Botarus to Angel off his chest. Harms taps it to Pavon. Very tough to handle this ball, and he's not getting help from the surface. Finally rescues it, banging it off Jeff Park.
You see Beckham having a little, giving some indications to Harms over there. Now he's trying to get in a little bit more attacking position, go forward and push. So he's asking Harms to follow up behind him, pick up any ball that comes after.
Long ball for Donovan. He was hoping for Stamler to misstep there, but he did not. Beckham for Clinton. Through the legs from Martino to Beckham. Donovan held out by Jeff Park. Interesting story you could mention. We see all the fanfare for David Beckham. Here he's on the same pitch with a guy like Jeff Park, who no one paid attention to, was the 60th pick in the MLS Super Draft. And there he is, marking Beckham for a fair amount of the time. This league bringing those two together, the unlikeliest pair. Flag has stayed down every time for New York. This time Richards receives it around Randolph. This has been a fun matchup. These two similar in height, similar in pace. They've both had the upper hand at some point. Look who he loses it to. Back to Richards. 70th minute. New York was up 1-0, goal by Angel. LA answered 2 goals from Pavon, both assisted by Beckham. At the end of the first half, goal by Mathis to tie it. Early on in half number 2, Josie Altidore to put the Red Bulls in front. Here is Altidore up against Veras. What a sweeping movement! Josie has come home! 4-2 Red Bulls. The second player tonight to score a brace. Goal number 7 of the season.
And almost almost the exact movement what we saw before, where he released the ball to Vandenberg, but this time he takes that responsibility, double scissor right here, just gets around Klein, takes that extra touch, and plays back at the near post. This is a great goal. Separates himself, and this is why Altidore is so dangerous, so potent in the area, because he got that quick release off that first explosive movement. Big goal for New York.
It looked like it was going to be David Beckham's night. Donovan, meantime, has sprint forward, and he's pulled one back. Landon Donovan, 71st minute, says, we're not done. 4-3.
Well, we were saying box to box, but please, the next kickoff, he comes, explodes right up the middle of the field. And that's why we like Donovan, to see him from that little deep position. He gets his motor going, just beats guys easily with his speed. Difficult angle right there to score. Great precise shot right there at the far post. 4-3, they're still in it.
5th different goal score.
Are you kidding me?
I was just about to fix my shoe. Thankfully, I kept my eyes on the pitch, because you would have missed that. Immediate response from LA. And a hush, like a buzz, goes through Giant Stadium. Obviously, the Red Bull supporters unhappy to see that 2-goal cushion go, but I think happy to see the drama build.
Well, they're going to push Clinton forward here on this free kick from Beckham. They'll look for that far post. Pavon's got to get himself in a good position with a good angle where he can head the ball back across. Looks like he's too far left here. Yeah, he'll make the adjustment. They'll look for Pavon as a target.
Beckham. That one slips in for Clinton.
And these are the moments when LA's got to grab the momentum. You see the replay right here. Beckham, every time he's been looking for that diagonal, all the attention is on the back post with Pavon, and that allows Clinton to run under him and put himself in a good position and get a shot on goal.
Angel, the man who opened the scoring, but that was 6 goals ago. Taps it for Richards, who's finally got some breathing room from Randolph. Got it into Vandenberg, who was banged up there by both Harden and Klein.
Another great near post run right there to open up for Vandenberg. He's got to be a little bit more decisive when he's in the area. Great little back heel here from Beckham.
Vide all over Martino, and he really deserved the free kick, and he's given LA a super chance for an equalizer. Yellow card for Vide.
You see Donovan going over to Martino. This is what you need from Kyle Martino when he's surging through the middle, taking guys on, being positive. Look, quick first touch, gets grabbed, gets taken down, and now in a location where David Beckham is in control.
Dane Richards again helping construct the wall. Beckham's hit the wall the last 2 times. Couldn't possibly do it a third. Certainly Waterus is going to get tested this time. Beckham hits the wall a 3rd time.
And to his credit, I mean, compared to LA, when you're on natural turf and synthetic turf, it's a lot different. The way that he likes to get under the ball, you really have to, you know, do exactly that, get under it. On synthetic turf, it's a little bit different.
Martino, mishit there, but finally cleared by Mathis. And he's found Angel. Gets in front of Harden. Couple headers there, finally drawn down by the Colombian. Through the legs of Martino. Vide looking for Richards. Again, he is caused all sorts of havoc.
Those are important possessions right there from Angel when he's coming back, holding the ball, keeping possession. That allows Altidore to get in a much more advanced position, and that's what's complicating things for those back 4 of the Galaxy.
4 first-half goals, 3 in the second. 2 goals from Altidore, 2 from Pavon, goals from Angel, Donovan, and Mathis. Not in that order.
I'm surprised they're giving so much room to Angel with his back to goal. I mean, the tension is not really there around him. They're allowing him to have his way every time that he touches the ball, and that's freeing up Altidore.
Well, now the project where they brought Glinton in for Yazik has really been shown not to have been the right choice, because Buttle is coming in for Glinton. Glinton came in middle of the first half, leaves middle of the second.
This is just a tactical move. You see Frank Gallup, he put the hand out there. I think Glinton did well. He brought some good energy into the game in that wide position, got forward, but now they need to get a player like Buttle and try to catch this game.
Stamler. Buttle has had a bit of a renaissance with LA after bouncing around the league earlier this season. Freeman. Angel, wide open Freeman, very good crosser of the ball. Randolph is there late, swept out by Veras. He can pump it out now. This is onside Richards, the Galaxy froze. Blocked by Harms.
Big opportunity. Good play from Mathis. You see again, similar to the free kick of Beckham. He's trying to play over into the area, just can't get under the ball. He was looking for Angel. Deflection, comes back and he heads it. Look at this. He's got the presence of mind to release Richards. I think he took a little too long here with his technique on the end line.
Vandenberg. Put it out by Harden. Altidore and Donovan. What a flick from Landon Donovan, and he hits Beckham full flight. Donovan doing all the running. Cuts inside. Vide sweeps it. Super skills from Landon Donovan. Altidore. Vide. Harden tangled with Angel. He collides into Veras. Cannon bails him out. Altidore. Well, one of the matches, if not the match of the season thus far, although there have been some good ones. And we're not quite done yet. Midfield, too hot to handle. Martino. Free kick, another chance for Beckham. And Martino has picked up the last two.
Not a smart foul. And I think it was difficult for Martino to break out from any place. He was trying to get control, but he's focusing on the technique. Harms gets it down, gets clipped from Richards. Not a smart foul, knowing that Beckham can step up here. Now you're going to get the opportunity or possibility for a near post shot on goal, or look for the far post or one of the players like Pavone to come in for a pass behind the defenders that are going to step up.
Beckham orchestrating things. He wants Kevin Stott to give the wall another look.
This is almost identical positioning of what we saw the other night on Wednesday.
Beckham, that one at the top of the wall. He'll get another chance. Slips it into Martino, cleared away by Seth Stamler, who, by the way, is one of two players in that back line of New York from Columbus, Ohio. The other, Chris Leach. Columbus also giving us Danny O'Rourke. Long ball out to Randolph. He gets some width here. He does. Maybe the MVP of this match is the New York Wall, which has blocked those Beckham offerings the last 4 times. Well, we have a very busy Wednesday. You're going to have to call in work sick. One of 3 big friendlies, USA-Sweden in Gothenburg, 2:30 Eastern time. You can see it live on FSC, and Landon Donovan, amongst others, will be on that squad. A mainly European-based team, but a few MLSers, Mastroeni, Donovan amongst them, will be on it.
Great possible match, huh? I mean, think about Sweden in a couple weeks. They'll be playing against Denmark. They had that big match in Copenhagen a few months back.
Oh yeah, so the one, of course, where the referee was attacked. Great opportunity for the U.S., even though there's no big tournaments looming for them, just to see what they have up against one of the heavyweights of Europe. Klein. Buttle's in the area, and corner kick.
Well, that's nice of Klein to push forward there. Great ball again from Martino. Got deeper in the midfield. Just played behind the defense. Good run. Little splitting run there from Klein. Can't cut it back, but he pulls out the corner. And now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players of the Galaxy in the heart of the area.
Beckham for Buttle. Park heads it away, and the LA Galaxy have done a super job of getting set pieces. There you see corner kick number 7. Harms. That time Leach clears. Richards through the legs of Randolph. Turns it back towards the attacking end. Buttle chases. He can get a corner kick. Last touch by Mathis. Corner kick number 8. This time Ty Harding comes into the area. Almost every Galaxy player is in there. And it's off the post! Back in front! Onside! Edson Buttle! 82nd minute! We are tied for the 3rd time! 4-4 in Giant Stadium! And yes, Tom Arnold is a fan of the Galaxy!
Well, this is what you want out of a substitute. First you get Verdes at the near post. He's going to strike it, snap away, and hits the post. And Buttle comes in, breathes life to the Galaxy, does what he's done for so many years. Control, great little finish in the far post. A lot harder than it looks when you got 3 players around you and everything's happening so fast. What a match.
Kyle Verdes hit it first off the post. Won't get an assist on that, certainly deserves it. Edson Buttle on the pitch for just minutes. Gets his 3rd goal of the season. It's 4-4.
Well, now what happens after that 4th goal when you equalize is important for the Galaxy. This is where you want to utilize the experience, intelligence of a player like David Beckham to control the last 10 minutes here and try to manage this part of the match, because you know New England is going to push forward. New York is going to push forward.
83rd minute, 4-4. We catch our breath. Let's send it down to Mark Rogandino.
Yeah, Max, Edson Buttle, as you know, had a cup of coffee here in New York with the Red Bulls, but now that he is in Los Angeles, he returns back here to the Northeast, and in fact had 20+ tickets requested so that he could have friends and family come in. As he went into the match, I said to him, how'd you like to impress those people that came to the match? And he said, if I can equalize or find the game winner, that certainly would help out, and I think he's done that. Max?
Thanks, Mark. Indeed, he had a cup of coffee with the Metro Stars there in 2006. He is from New Rochelle, New York, which is just out of New York City on your way to Connecticut. So this is a hometown matchup, and obviously a lot of fans coming up. Speaking of hometown, it's the pride of Staten Island, John Wallinek. He will be coming in, and he will replace Dave Vandenberg. That is the first substitution for the Red Bulls. This one out for Freeman. Park. A hum here as the last 6 minutes are upon us. 8 goals. That one headed towards Altidore, one of 2 players who are looking for a hat trick that can get it with a goal here in the final minutes. Everything's coming 2s. 2 for Altidore, 2 for Pavon. 2 unanswered goals from LA after the Red Bulls were in front. 2 unanswered by LA moments ago. 2 goals unanswered by New York at the end and beginning of the halves. Here's Mathis.
And not a good foul, and you got to be smarter in transition. Martino had the ball, he could have connected easily to Beckham. He plays a looping ball, gives back possession in the midfield, then you get this clipping foul. Harms just comes in. You don't want to do that in the same location.
Kevin Harms is quickly becoming one of the most unpopular, or least popular, pardon me, players in MLS, but that's certainly the position he plays. He wouldn't have it any other way, I'm sure.
That's right, Max, and you can see that Hale wants to take this. It's a little bit closer. This is a perfect position for New York.
I just get the feeling there's 1 goal left in us. I just can't see it ending 4-4. Who scores it, I'm not sure. Angel, too tall.
You know, we're seeing these games all over the world. The other day, Juventus was playing against Roma. Roma was 2-0 up. Juventus came back and scored 5 goals. In the Champions League, Milan against Liverpool, and Liverpool made that great comeback. And I think this is one of the things that we're seeing, where teams are trying to get positive, they're trying to get forward, they're trying to insist and make things happen, but sometimes they don't manage the game. And that's one of the themes that we've seen here after the goal.
Here's Buttle.
Particularly the third goal from Donovan. Right after the kickoff, he came right through everybody.
This game seemed over. The Galaxy, to a man, hunched over. And then Donovan quickly got them back upright. Klein for Beckham. Donovan quickly turns towards goal. Beckham flying, Walneck. Leach, midfield circle, it's Angel. He's got Richards to his right, he's got Altidore to his left, uses Richards. Hard to imagine the Galaxy had not scored a goal in their last 3 matches. And look at Landon Donovan, playing right back.
It is just great. He puts himself in a good position, reads the play as if he's the opposing forward himself, flicks it off. Donovan's still got a ton in the tank. You can see he does so much work. He's running for 2 or 3 players. He goes, I'll cover for you, I'll get back, I'll go forward, I'll surge through the midfield. And you know that Beckham appreciates that.
Pavon kept it in play, tapped it to the midfield, Vide a long back pass to Huatarus.
So many great individual performances tonight. When you look at Angel, has gotten so many contacts on the ball, made so many great possessions. Released Altidore, who's been fantastic. Mathis, one of the best matches that I've seen him play in a while.
Yeah.
Well, very instrumental in that position behind the 2 forwards.
Mathis, they're going to improve that in the one-handed save by Cannon, but he can't keep this one out! The 9th goal of the game! The 3rd place of the game! Juan Pablo Angel, 5-4 Red Bulls!
You see, Beckham can't believe it. 9 goals. 9 goals. Clint Mathis put him in a position. He gets the ball, first touch, impeccable. Pulls it to the left side, just separates himself, and he's got the ability to strike and force Cannon to stretch himself out. Give credit to Mathis. Look at this strike. 9 out of 10 times that'd be a goal. And this is why Angel is one of the best goalkeepers, the best goal scorers in the world. Great follow-up. He doesn't stop. Excellent reaction. Perfect angle with the precision. Forces Cannon back into the net. Great goal.
Joe Cannon's goals against average is going to take a huge licking, but he deserves better. He's got 5 goals against him, but boy, did he almost prevent that from an impossible angle.
It's going in. Excuse me, Max, you see Mathis, he's down.
La Fiesta.
La Fiesta.
Injury to Clint Mathis. We were saying what a great game that he had. It just got a lot better. Now that section you saw, those are the ultras, the ultra fans of the Red Bulls. When there's 12,000 here or when there's 66,000, they're always here enjoying it. It's a lot more fun when the place is packed. Carlos Mendez going to come in for Mathis. He's every game really for the Red Bulls got injured and now is off the bench, but I'm sure we'll be back in the starting 11 before too long, especially when your team's just allowed 4 goals.
Well, when you ask for a guy to come in and play that role, make the difference, Mathis had the light over his head today. He released Altidore, he had great possessions. One of the best performances I've seen from him in the last couple of years here in MLS. Great day for Mathis.
Well, the Red Bulls, who beat Columbus 4-0, scored 3 goals on a couple occasions, have never scored 5. The Galaxy, well, this is the first time they've scored 4 goals, so both teams helping their offensive output. 4 additional minutes. Donovan. Randolph. Pavon off the knees and away. York looking to get points 31, 32, 33, which for now would move them into second place all by themselves. DC United are playing Columbus at the same time, and they could join them there. As for the Galaxy, although massive improvement here in a hostile environment, they appear to walk out of New York empty-handed.
They did some good things today. Beckham, for not being fully fit for 90 minutes, he went the whole 90 minutes. You know he's going to be sore tomorrow on the plane, going back to Europe, but he'll recover. Donovan was great. Pavone really lifted his game. It is a New York team in the second half that I think elevated their play as a team collectively, 3-4 levels.
Mike McGee coming into the match as well for New York, and he will replace Josie Altidore. McGee just getting back into the fold. And a great reception for young Josie. Unfortunately for the Red Bulls, they hit the road for a little bit here. Hopefully these fans will return. I'm sure not all of them, but you know, you get 2 or 3 extra thousand to come to the home matches. It's done its job.
You see Altidore is getting a standing ovation from the stadium. Bruce Arena, you got to give him credit. John Hart's Bruce Arena, Richie Williams. He said, we don't want the high expectations. We don't want to kill this kid. He's very young, like what happened with Freddie Adu. He needs time to mature. Got to be calm with his progression in football, but you look at the performances game in and game out, how ruthless and fearless he is when he gets into the area, and he scored some big goals for New York. Excellent performance tonight from Josie Altidore.
Angel picking up a corner kick. By the way, New York next week on the 22nd, travel to DC. Saturday the 25th, travel to New England. As for the Galaxy, Thursday they have the Super Classico. They'll be the home team in that against Chivas USA. Sunday the 26th at Colorado, who unfortunately for the Galaxy have found their form again.
Well, I think there's some positives to take away for the Galaxy. They actually did some things tonight as a team better than even Wednesday when they won against DC United. There were a lot of positives.
I agree.
I just think that it was a difficult match. New York threw much more at them than what they saw against DC United.
I'm sure Frank Gallup would say the same thing, but he's probably also thinking how many more moral victories can his team get without getting real ones. But steps have been made. I think Coach Gallup did a fine job looking where his team was going wrong, making those changes, bringing in Buttle as well as Veris, and it allowed them to come back. But the Red Bulls had one left in them, it would appear. 30 seconds left. Ball neck into the corner. Donovan and Veris converge on him. One thing I'm sure that no moral victory for Frank Gallup is his back four. Obviously they've been in disarray, but they've got to perform better. They have 3 rookies in there. Abel Xavier will help if he's in there, but they've got to perform better. This 5 goals obviously in his eyes is unacceptable.
You see that little quick movement, the reaction of Angel in between 3 players. He comes and keeps possession. That's what's been so important that he brought to this team in the second half. Those little subtle movements, and he just reads 2 seconds before. That's what gives him the edge above the other players in this league.
All eyes turn to Kevin Stott. One last thrust for LA. Buttle. Donovan. Beckham was in there. Martino throws his hips. Free kick, New York. And they may be home now.
Not a bad idea from Landon right there. You see a little different pace on the ball as he was trying to drive it out wide.
More than just a game, it's been an event. First for Beckham, and then, hey, 9 goals to sweeten the pot. And Kevin Stott says there will not be a 10th. The match has ended. David Beckham made quite an impression. 8 minutes in, he had 2 assists. Did his part as the Galaxy offense got on track. Unfortunately, so did the Red Bulls. They win it 5-4. An absolute thrill to broadcast this match. Unfortunately, it comes to an end.